One day, she's sunbathing on a $500 million yacht, showing off that massive engagement ring. The next, silence. But what Lauren found in Jeff Bezos' encrypted files just 3 days before she disappeared turned her into one of the most talked about women in America. We need to discuss what's happening with Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez. She's gone viral before, often criticized for her outfits, and it's not an isolated case. But here's the point. When you're part of the elite, with cameras capturing every move, when your style, ring, and lifestyle are under constant scrutiny, and then suddenly you vanish, it's rarely a coincidence. It's often deliberate. Did Lauren Sanchez actually vanish? One moment she's enjoying life on Bezos' luxury yacht, the next, there's nothing. No photos, no paparazzi, no jet sightings. Complete silence. When someone who thrives on being seen goes invisible overnight, there's always a motive. And this time, that motive could shake one of the world's most powerful empires. Lauren has built her image on appearance. Everything from her wardrobe choices to her interviews highlights her looks and lifestyle. She's long showcased her designer enhancements and polished image. For someone like her, disappearing without a trace is unusual. Women in her position don't fade quietly. They step away with intent. But the story goes further. There are rumors of FBI involvement, encrypted files, and secrets capable of destabilizing Bezos' empire from within. Some say Lauren may have orchestrated the most calculated exit strategy seen in both Hollywood and Washington. She's even been on the cover of Vogue, which led some to question the magazine's direction, shifting from featuring models and thought leaders to highlighting women tied to wealthy men. Before jumping to conclusions about Lauren's disappearance, it's important to look back. This didn't begin with her sudden absence. The background is far more revealing. It all started with what looked like a flawless billionaire romance. In early July, Lauren Sanchez was last seen on the deck of Bezos' $500 million yacht, Kourou, off Sardinia. She was glowing in designer clothing, laughing, champagne in hand, the picture of wealth and influence. Then suddenly she vanished. No more yacht photos, no paparazzi trails, no red carpet appearances. Her Instagram went quiet, her publicist unresponsive, and even the usual leaks from her circle stopped. That's highly unusual for Lauren, who has always managed her image carefully. Every gown, every travel snapshot, every appearance was intentional. Her visibility wasn't just lifestyle, it was her identity. So why did it all stop? Some speculate she checked into a private wellness retreat. Others whispered something darker, that Jeff pulled the plug, that their fairy tale engagement dissolved into a quiet conflict and Lauren made the first move. One insider told a podcast she did not just disappear. She was strategically removed from the equation. The wedding that never occurred seemed to tell its own story. When people with poor taste are given unlimited budgets and no limits, you get exactly what Bezos and Sanchez reportedly planned: a 200-person celebrity spectacle. Guests described the dress as unflattering, the makeup excessive, and even the gray carpet arrangement felt staged, more desperate for attention than a genuine celebration. What's more unsettling, Bezos and Sanchez allegedly invited 200 celebrities, the kind of faces chosen for press rather than personal connection. Not family, not close friends, but famous people for photo opportunities. Oprah Winfrey was said to be invited, Gayle King, the Kardashians, Steven Spielberg, Orlando Bloom, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Brady, Elon Musk, and even Sydney Sweeney. What real, meaningful ties would a 55-year-old billionaire and his 54-year-old fiancée have with an actress in her 20s? The impression was clear. It was clout over closeness. But that celebrity wedding never took place. And that's where the story deepens. Is this just tabloid fodder, or did something truly significant occur behind closed luxury doors? When someone whose career depends on being seen goes dark overnight, it's rarely random. Just as people assumed Lauren had withdrawn for self-care, whispers began, not from gossip sites, but from sources inside government circles. Reports suggested Lauren's disappearance might not be personal at all. It might be political. A leaked podcast excerpt, later removed from the internet, claimed a federal inquiry was opened into someone in Bezos' inner circle. Soon after, Who stopped posting on social media and began hiring lawyers. Insiders alleged Lauren was flagged during a routine security review tied to Bezos' large government aerospace contracts. The claim, she may have been unintentionally included in sensitive communications that were never meant for public view. Some sources even say her name appeared in encrypted messages now sought by federal investigators. Nothing has been officially confirmed or denied. Neither Lauren nor Jeff's representatives have publicly commented. Their silence speaks louder than a denial might. A former Department of Justice official posted on social media, "If a billionaire's fiancé goes dark and hires counsel at the same time, assume there's more than relationship drama. This could involve surveillance, state secrets, and federal probes." If those allegations hold weight, Lauren could be far out of her depth. Is she the primary target or collateral damage? This wasn't a random disappearance. Observers say she executed a textbook strategic exit. No farewell post, no paparazzi sightings. She simply vanished. This is a woman who relies on visibility. Her life has been one deliberate headline after another since she linked with Bezos. So why the radio silence now? Sources in Malibu circles say she reduced her public activity for weeks before vanishing. Appearances were canceled and her glam team stood by, unused, her private jet stop showing up on tracking services. One reporter says Lauren's last verified location was a Swiss villa linked to a private bank. No press, no paparazzi, and outside straightforward American legal reach. That wasn't panic. It looked like calculated planning. Was Lauren escaping a scandal or seeking safety? When billionaires vanish from public view, it's rarely accidental. It reads as deliberate, as if she were thinking several moves ahead. Rumors of a $5 billion civil lawsuit connected to Jeff Bezos spread through legal circles. The claim involves shell companies and undisclosed government contracts. Witnesses have reportedly been deposed behind closed doors, away from media oversight. At that point, the federal angle grows more serious. Legal insiders say this isn't a minor commercial spat. There's unconfirmed talk that the Department of Justice may be watching the civil case for any links to broader financial probes, involving major tech and media firms. A leaked podcast. Clip asked the key question: could this civil suit open the door to a larger federal inquiry? And one of the most concerning details is timing. Lauren's disappearance came days after court whispers started circulating in Washington, D.C. Coincidence is possible, but the timing looks unusually convenient for someone who might have had prior knowledge. If Jeff's name were about to be pulled into a multi-billion federal matter, and Lauren anticipated that, her disappearance begins to look less random and more like deliberate risk management. So, if she didn't simply vanish, where did she go? Flight path records tracked by aviation observers indicate a private jet, reportedly registered, to a shell company with ties to the Bezos organization, changed course mid-flight. Hours after Lauren's last confirmed sighting in Sardinia, the plane had been scheduled for Geneva, but instead diverted to a low-profile airstrip in North Africa, a region known among some intelligence analysts for weak extradition arrangements and limited digital transparency. From that point, there was complete silence. No luxury hotel check-ins, no social posts from villas, no CCTV traces, no digital footprint. The story takes another turn. Sources close to an international private security firm say a burner phone registered in Albania connected to a satellite network exactly once before going offline. That device was allegedly linked to a temporary European SIM ordered under the alias LS Gates. Coincidence, or a deliberate operational security measure? Historically, wealthy figures under legal pressure have retreated to jurisdictions where authorities are less likely to cooperate, where fortified compounds and secure communication networks provide privacy. This is more than a simple missing person angle. It resembles a global chessboard where moves are shielded from public view, and a single misstep could escalate into an international scandal. The central questions remain. Where did Lauren Sanchez go? And who is facilitating her protection? And why would they risk so much? While global speculation swirled about her location, Jeff Bezos reportedly acted quietly and precisely, deploying resources in a way only vast wealth makes possible. Rumors are now spreading that Bezos didn't simply hope Lauren would return on her own. According to whispers from West Coast crisis teams, a private war room was activated immediately, staffed around the clock with PR analysts, reputation managers, and even former intelligence officers hired as contractors. Sounds extreme. Here's what technology reporters are hearing through back channels. Within 48 hours of Lauren's disappearance, a network of private investigators was reportedly deployed, not only across Europe but also through parts of the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Those regions are often cited by intelligence professionals as preferred safe havens for wealthy individuals trying to avoid legal exposure. The operation appears to run deep. Unconfirmed reports claim Bezos may have placed emergency freezes on joint assets and filed sealed court motions, legal maneuvers that keep documents hidden from mainstream media. At the same time, online chatter points to non-disclosure agreements being issued rapidly, staff being silenced by legal threats, vendors removed from public records, and insiders cutting off contact. The fallout became visible. Paparazzi were allegedly redirected away from Bezos' properties. Photos of the couple began disappearing from websites. Bezos himself has been noticeably absent from his usual social circles. This goes beyond a missing fiancé story. It reads like damage control on a scale most governments would struggle to match. So the pressing question is, what does Jeff Bezos know that the public does not? What could be so damaging it requires coordinated, large-scale suppression? Consider two possibilities. One view paints Lauren as a betrayer, the partner who vanished. The other treats her disappearance as a calculated survival move, someone who recognized a looming crisis and removed herself before it hit. What if Lauren learned about a federal probe before anyone else? What if she was leaving not to escape Jeff personally, but to avoid legal consequences his power could not shield her from? In a world where powerful figures maneuver strategically, is she merely a runaway bride or someone who acted on crucial inside knowledge? Then comes a claim nobody expected. 3 days before she vanished, while accessing Bezos' private encrypted files for wedding planning, Lauren allegedly found material that changed everything. Buried in corporate documents, she supposedly discovered evidence of a secret: collaboration between Amazon's cloud services and foreign intelligence services. Not merely data sharing, agreements, but active participation in surveillance, programs that targeted U.S. citizens. The files reportedly show that AWS had been used to facilitate international intelligence work, generating large revenues while raising national security concerns. More alarmingly, the documents allegedly contained communications indicating Bezos was collecting intimate information on world leaders, business rivals, and political figures via Amazon systems, data that could destabilize governments, ruin careers, and shift power. If true, that would make anyone close to him a potential liability. The federal inquiry would then be aimed at Bezos' operations, and associates would be collateral risk. Under this account, Lauren's disappearance becomes survival, not abandonment. She had reportedly uncovered what's described as the most extensive intelligence-gathering operation in modern history, built on Amazon's infrastructure. The public romance, the yacht photos, the celebrity lifestyle, all framed according to the files as cover for something far more consequential. In that moment of discovery, she would be the only person capable of exposing a system that could bring down major institutions and reshape international power. The alleged scope is vast. The encrypted materials supposedly show AWS mining personal data from customer interactions, voice assistants, purchase histories, and other touchpoints to build psychological profiles on hundreds of millions of people. A document titled Project Looking Glass is said to outline cooperation between Bezos and multiple intelligence agencies to predict and influence political outcomes via targeted information manipulation. The files allegedly claim the system has been used to sway elections in a dozen countries, silence investigative journalists, and remove non-compliant tech executives. According to the same materials, Lauren's relationship with Bezos was not accidental. She was, the files suggest, cultivated as a public-facing figure who could normalize his influence while remaining unaware of the operation's reach. The Swiss villa, the burner phone, and the disappearance, then, were not random panic but parts of contingency plans found in Bezos's documents, including protocols for neutralizing security risks. Once Bezos learned she had accessed Project Looking Glass, her exposure, the files imply, put her life at immediate risk. If these claims hold any weight, Lauren now holds proof that could topple administrations, reveal illegal surveillance, and show how commercial infrastructure was used for global intelligence work. The question shifts from if she will reappear to whether she will survive long enough to disclose what she knows. In a situation where information equals power, the files portray Lauren Sanchez as both extremely valuable and extremely vulnerable. Either way, the yacht sits empty, the engagement ring is gone, and public silence persists. A reminder that some secrets prompt disappearance while others demand protection at any cost.